TerraSpaces. Hello and welcome to The Ether. Today is Wednesday, December 7th, 2022. Today on The Ether, part 2 of the two-part RAC FM Giga Rugged. Let's take a listen.
Jimmy, have you got a dog? Jimmy, have you got a dog? You need a dog. I think Jimmy needs a dog, mate.
I have a farm.
You have what? A farm?
A farm.
Oh, you fucking would have you. But how many dogs? I didn't ask about if you got a farm. I said, have you got a dog?
Many dogs, many cats, many chickens, many buffaloes.
Oh, don't be like many fucking dogs. Dude, if someone says, have you got a dog? You don't be like, oh, I've got many dogs, many cats, many cats. That like is the worst answer in the world. You'd reply to someone, yeah, I've got two Staffordshire Bull Terriers and a Rottweiler. Like, dude, I mean, for fuck's sake, Jimmy. Hey, I've met people in my life, Jimmy, right, that's hard work, yeah? And I've sat with hours, like, for them, and it's quite funny. I mean, I take the piss on Spaces, but Robo's got a lot of skills that people don't realise. Jimmy, man, if you don't realise that people are, like, constantly reaching out to you, and it's not like once or twice. Like, I've been reaching out to people now, Jimmy. Jimmy, I've been reaching out to you for weeks. Wait now. We want you to be a sound, focused, like, massively, like, controversial. Like, some of the... Because you have said some things, son. I mean, you did say some things that were fucking out of order, right? You know what I'm talking about. You need to behave yourself.
I can name those things, can I?
Jimmy, man, we love you for you, yeah? But, like, learn etiquette. When you come in these, the thing is, in your own life, you might not give a fuck, like me. Like, I literally just conduct my life without giving a fuck. Why should I? I don't have to. So it's quite, that's just the way it is, right? That's you, yeah? But when you come on Spaces, yeah, you need to have, like at least, like, this, like, little minimum, like, level of etiquette where it's like, okay, it's a social environment. I mean, it's not just you, dude. I mean, we had to tell Jacob last night, like, slow down, read the real points. We're like, whoa, one thought at one time. I mean, it's not unique, Jimmy. Not everyone, unfortunately, not everyone has the social skills, right, to be able to join in these, like, Twitter Spaces and keep, like, people entertained for 6 or 7 hours, right, and have, like, you know, a couple of hundred people join in, right, Jimmy? It's an art form. I want you, Jimmy, I want you to learn the Spaces art form, because if you did, I think you could be fucking gold dust, bro. I think you could be fucking on the money.
And every time you would send me an invite to your space, I would go. Without fear of being you talking down on me, making me feel like shit.
Yeah.
Or trying
But,
to.
you know,
like
the rule in my space is you have to be a property owner.
It's not, Jimmy. It's not about Jimmy.
You're funny.
We've got property in the metaverse. Bbandz got property in the metaverse. She's a landowner.
I got metaverse property and I got one IRL property, but that's okay.
I only care about properties with real yields above at least 7%, or else you're not allowed in my spaces.
Okay, then you can't send me those invites anymore, I suppose, then.
Right, guys, Gaines has his hand up, wait. He's going to come in, and I know it's for Bbandz and Jimmy. Gaines, yes, Pleb, hand up, Pleb.
Squid.
If you fucking did that on a RAC FM, you're fucking... Oh, I'm telling you, if he wasn't one of my best friends, he would be fucking dead to me right now, like, dude. And he left. Oh, he dropped it. Oh, thinks he's funny. Is this like the new Twitter thing, right? No one takes you down. You make some like controversial comment, and then you remove yourself as like a co-host or a speaker. Well, you plebs. You think I wasn't doing this months ago with Rarma when Sonny was on, and I was like, Sonny's in, and Rarma started like giving me the Robo, shut up, like he was like a little better cooked pleb because he was dying to get on the payroll. Oh, you don't want that conversation, do you? Hey, your man's asleep, is he? Is he? Come on, Rarma, wake up. I love that conversation, shall we? Robo's got even worse than them ones. Anyway, what happened with Gaines? Gaines, okay. Fair play, Gaines. Fair play. Jimmy, I don't think Gaines could take you there.
I think Jimmy left, didn't he?
I hope so.
Oh, no,
I'm
he's
here.
there. He's there. I see him.
I'm not listening, but I'm here.
Oh, he's not
So then how did
listening.
you hear me?
I have a bot that announces when my name gets announced.
Why did you kick me out and bring up Amanda?
I did nothing. Total lies about absolutely everything. I made a co-host again. You know you're always the co-host. Dude, I did nothing.
Rarma.
Did nothing.
Rarma.
Hello, where Tank, hello, Tank. Where's my man, Tank? Choking some cunt out, probably. Oh, is he there? No. Are you there, again?
Yeah, I'm here now, but please
Sorry.
don't remove me
I
again.
thought Tank was there. Again, I think Jimmy doesn't like get it still. Well, I think he's like starting to get it. I think Jimmy's like starting to realize that, like, hey, you know.
No, I think
like,
all of you are equally worthless, to be honest.
Well, Jimmy, Jimmy, you know.
He's in the space, though. So if he's in the space and he is spending his time with worthless people, then
He's playing hard to get. Let him have
wants
his
us.
cake.
we
I'm
want
just
you,
reading.
Jimmy.
Jimmy, you know something? I can't imagine, right? I don't want. It's not that I can't imagine. It's that I don't want to believe. Like, I don't want to believe that, like, a human's fucking heart can be that black. I mean, for fuck's sake.
Wait,
man,
didn't he just say he wanted to, like, essentially? I mean, I got that he wanted to be like Gordon Ramsay. Like, that's his goal, to be the Gordon Ramsay of the spaces, yelling at people or whatever, instructing them. I feel like that's the vibe that I'm getting that he wants to do.
Well, the thing is, he slagged off Gordon Ramsay, not Gordon Ramsay, Marco Pierre White, but Marco Pierre White was Gordon Ramsay's boss. So
I only said that to anger you.
Marco Pierre White. I'm the Marco
Nobody's
Pierre
getting
White.
angered by you.
You're the little sous chef.
Yeah, but by saying that, it made you very angry. So, mission accomplished.
Jimmy, you're the sous chef. You're the fucking sous chef, son. Hey, listen.
Okay.
Get in that kitchen. Do as you're fucking told. You're the sous chef, son. Aye? I'll put you on the fish station tonight, son. Get in that kitchen.
I think Gordon Ramsay's worth a lot more money than Marco Pierre White, nowadays.
Who the fuck brought... Why did you bring in fucking cooking, fucking celebrity analogies? I mean, where did that come from, you pleb?
Because you're fat and you're from, Yorkshire.
You like to cook, Jimmy? Are you?
I'm fat.
You like
I'm fat. I'm 6'3". I'm 6'3" and 185 pounds, you pleb. I'm fat. Oh, dare you. I'll fucking dare you. Do people have met me in real life? Like on Twitter Spaces, on Twitter and CT? Oh, dude. More people than met you. No one.
Well, I don't think anyone's ever met me.
Jimmy, no mates. Jimmy fucking no mates. No cunt has met you in the flesh. I've got fucking 5 cunts that have met me in the flesh, son. That'll jump on and tell you about me. So don't fucking go there, you little cunt, man. I've been trying to be as nice as I can tonight. And you just keep being a fucking cunt, don't you? With a knife. Trying to stab it into fucking every cunt, man. Will you behave yourself?
There's nothing wrong with being a little heavy. There's nothing wrong with that. let's show love.
Mia.
Do you like women?
Mia.
Timmy, do you like women?
Wait, bring Mia. Bring Mia up. Wait, Mia. Hello, Mia. I want Mia. Wait.
Hello,
Mia.
hello, friends. So glad I got to pop in and listen to you guys. I miss my crazy internet friends.
When in real life event, guys?
Bangkok.
I'm ready with bells.
Freaking
Let me know and I'll be there. America.
We were talking Nashville 2023 sometime, Nashville, but that's kind of somewhat central.
That sounds fun.
I think Jimmy lives in West Virginia, so that would be close for Jimmy. As long as Jimmy can make it, it's okay. I know he has a West Virginia address.
Oh, of course he lives in West Virginia.
Yeah.
That's just one of my many properties.
He has many properties in West. It's a beautiful state.
He was from Alabama.
I've driven through West Virginia several times. It's a beautiful state. So, just real quick, I just want to let everyone know I appreciate you guys so much, because when I listen to these crazy spaces, it helps reminds me that my crazy life is not that crazy, because everyone's life is crazy. And it just brings me back to reality that the world is full of chaos. So I love you guys. Just want you all to know that. I love every one of you, and appreciate you.
Mia. Mia. Racøøn. Mia. Racøøn were in earlier talking about AI. So, like, I know it might sound crazy now, but earlier we had, like, absolute experts, like, in the chat, like, talking about, like, serious. This is the best thing, isn't it? Is it mixing the seriousness or the intelligence or intellect, right? Or aptitude or whatever it is, right? With the fun and the humor and the piss take and the, you know, the camaraderie and the banter, right? Yeah. Like, it's a very fine line, Mia, between able to, like, where you're taking the piss out of pretty much like everything, but then the real stuff, you're like, no, this is how it works and blah, blah. Mate, you know what I mean. You've got to have, like, I don't know, bit of both, right?
Absolutely. And especially in this market when we're all just waiting for Evmos to go down to 22 cents before we buy. What else am I going to do while I'm waiting for Evmos to go down to 22 cents? I might as well hang out with you guys.
I think we need Jimmy to launch his project so we can ape it in his project, since he knows everything. I think Jimmy needs to launch his goddamn project. Squid.
You guys got to remember, I think he enjoys, like you said, Robo just enjoys the back and forth and the banter. So, like I said, I feel Nashville 2023 would be great to meet some of you guys in crazy real life.
Look, I'm a Cosmos soldier, okay? And I don't need to meet anyone. We can meet in the Cosmos. Fact is, some of you guys are scammers. Scammers.
Jimmy, wait. Didn't you have when Rarma quizzed you, didn't you have your atom staked on a central validator?
Finance.
I mean, Jimmy, you know something. Yeah. Wait, I mean, listen, your intelligence far outweighs your credibility. Do you know what I mean? No, bro. Like where someone's like, fuck, this dude's clever as fuck, right? But then you're like, he's fucking thick as fuck. Like, hasn't got a clue how this shit really works out there. I did listen, guys. Listen, I didn't jump in. I was already finished and recorded, and I heard Jimmy on the spaces the other day. Jimmy, I listened to you on some random plebs like spaces. What were you shilling? You were shilling Cardano, and you were shilling Aptos, right? You're probably going to shill Sui. Are you going to shill Sui as well, you little fucking pleb? Aye? Are you going to be fucking Matty Graham?
If I can reply,
are you going to be Dino? Are you going to be
If I-
seeing those fucking exit liquidity?
Yes, if
Are you
I
going
can
to be
reply
seeing
very
those
quickly,
exit?
but if I can reply very quickly, I will say this. I was in a Cardano space, and so naturally I was a Cardano soldier at the time. Likewise, I was in an Aptos NFT space, and I was an Aptos soldier.
Soldier, you fucking pleb.
However, I made my criticisms of Cardano known. I'm no longer able to access most of those spaces.
Oh my God.
I've been banned from most of those spaces.
Soldier, your credibility, Jimmy. Soldier. Are you really going to call yourself a fucking, what was it, a Cardano soldier?
Oh, yes.
Oh my God. I hate these people who were like this army or this fucking, my God.
That's why I do it, because I know that you dislike it.
Well, it's no different to what the American government are spilling at the moment,
I like the American government.
Well, why? What is it with identitarianism, right? What is it with it?
Well, when you're an American citizen, you pay extremely high taxes. Of course, I support American policies. I support American foreign policy. Your country is essentially a proxy of the United States and has been for the last 60 years. You still owe us a considerable amount of money. And we, of course, are the most powerful country in the world.
Are you
proud of our wars? We're proud of exporting freedom, democracy.
Jimmy, are you a bot? Is that a research line? Like, have you got that line written down on a piece of paper in front of you?
No, I mean,
wait a minute. No.
We must believe in America. For America is, of course, the greatest nation that ever existed on Earth. We can trace that lineage back to our founding fathers, and of course, our independence war. But the most important thing about America is our philosophy of enabling the autonomous individual around the world. So we export that freedom to Iraq and Afghanistan and all these other countries so we can basically enhance our military-industrial complex, which I have large equity stakes in. I continue to buy great defense companies like Racøøn, General Electric, Lockheed Martin, and Boeing, so that
Raytheon,
so that we can continue building up this country.
Right. Guys, I'm really
sorry.
I
also own smaller defense companies.
Jimmy.
I own companies that continue to work with DARPA. For example, Ginkgo.
Jimmy, listen. We don't want bots. I'm sorry. Like, spaces are not designed for bots. Like, bots are plebs. Yeah, dude. We don't fucking need that. Like, and I never, ever want to use the mute button, especially when we've got like such a group of like very clever, intelligent like individuals. Guys, I can't like deal with like a bot in a conversation. And Jimmy, you sound like a bot. Sorry, dude, I might be wrong. I'm gonna have to go and find out from other people. Jimmy, I'm gonna unmute everyone. Please wait until I ask other people if you sound like a bot so I can get, like, another perspective, not just mine, right? Wait a minute, Jimmy, please. Right. Tank. Do we have a bot here or not? That was fucking bot talk for me, Tank. Okay, maybe Tank can't come in. Gaines is talking like a bot. What's wrong? Is it me or is it a fucking bot?
I like it. I think it's kind of hot.
Are you just taking the piss out of me now? Aren't you? Using Jimmy to take the piss out of me now?
I actually like Jimmy's voice.
Well, I support the American efforts in Ukraine. I mean, we've been able to spend very little money to basically cause Russia to lose most of its military in Ukraine. And I look forward to more wars. I look forward to more defense sector revenue. And I think that, when people are for example, I just saw an article about Vietnam now diversifying its defense industry to procure more from America, which before had been entirely dependent on Russia. It was an article that I just finished reading from the AFP, from Reuters. Vietnam shifts gears on arms trade as it loosens ties with Russia. I mean, this is great. I mean, I think that America continues to grow in influence. And again, with TSMC building 2 factories in the United States, we're going to see American prestige and influence even grow more.
I know.
We should be very proud of this.
I've listened to you. I know you're very pro-union, I've heard that from you before. I've heard you. Yeah, you're very pro-union.
What union?
No, any like union. I've heard you like very.
No,
like,
I support the Scottish Nationalist Party. Actually, in the UK.
No,
I would like the breakup with the UK. It would be easier to manage them.
Wait, dude, I'm not talking about my country. I don't even live there, man, Pleb. I'm talking about your country where you live. You live in your country. I don't live in mine for a fucking. I don't live in mine for the reason that, like, you have to deal with your shit.
I doubt you get a visa for this country.
Yeah, well, dude, I don't have to deal with my shit, do I? Not my family do. I've heard you, though, like, talk about, like, unionization, and I've heard your rants. Like, I mean, you are quite far right, Jimmy. Like, you could be geograph on the political landscape.
Actually.
Jim, wait a minute. On the political landscape, because it's moved like underneath us, where we might have been a few years ago. That's
I vote for Joe Biden. Right?
Jimmy, wait.
I vote for Barack Obama.
Wait, yeah, I've got no doubt.
I like Bill Clinton.
But dude, you weren't black-pilled at the time. When you voted, you were a pleb. Like literally, Jimmy, when you voted, right, back in those days, I mean, you're probably about, I don't know, you're very educated, but you're probably about, what, 22, 23, right?
45.
I mean, are you fuck? You're not 40 fucking 5. Fuck off, man.
No.
You're not 45, Jimmy.
I like Jimmy Carter as well.
You're not 40. Jimmy, he's wait a minute, Bbandz. Wait, this cunt's rugging everyone now. He's like, I like Jimmy Carter, the most useful cunt in the history of the world before.
Well, I could give you some examples of successsuctional policies. Would you be interested in that?
Oh, here we go.
Well, for one, he allowed Ayatollah Khomeini to return to Iran. That was able, by doing this, we now have a united Middle East, Israel and Saudi Arabia working together against Iran. That essentially solved the Palestinian issue. We have a fragmented and highly sectarian Middle East that's easy to control now. And there are many other things that Jimmy Carter has done successfully. I mean, I support this man. He's still alive, thankfully.
Right. Officially, guys, listen, I've tried for weeks and months with Jimmy. Now, I am telling you officially, if Jimmy is endorsing Jimmy Carter, right, he is the biggest troll in the history of the fucking world. And that's all. That's literally Otter. I
think you just made him smile.
I have nothing else to say
right now.
Nah, I've got nothing. Like literally, like if he's like, oh my fucking.
I like Harold Wilson.
Oh, Wilson. Wait a minute. Are we talking about the 14 points? Are we talking about the 14 points? Are we?
No, I'm talking about Harold Wilson, the Labour leader,
the British one. I mean,
I support Clement Attlee.
What? Simon Attlee? Did you say Simon Attlee?
No, his first name wasn't Simon.
Wait a minute, what did you say? That's recorded, so don't lie. What did you say?
No, his first name is Clement Attlee. His first name is Clement Attlee. Go look it up. You're an idiot.
I thought you said Simon. It sounded like Simon. No. I thought you trying to.
Clement Attlee.
You mean? What do you think? I don't know.
You don't know who he is? That's pretty pathetic.
How many British prime ministers have been assassinated?
Labour leaders?
How many? No. How many British prime ministers have been assassinated over the years? How many?
No idea.
And who was he?
Is this a trivia show? Did I walk into a trivia space?
I would pretend not to know everything in order to make it more interesting.
So Finn Schlongington.
Are we giving out troll awards? I'm just here to pick up my Troll of the Year award, and then I'll be on my way.
Dude,
are you guys solving big global problems?
I personally think that Tony Blair was the greatest leader Britain's had in the last 150 years.
Well, there you go. That's certainly an opinion, huh? You guys talking politics, getting all political.
And how was it? I love Christmas, mate. You love Christmas. If you don't like John Lennon. And Finn Schlongington, how are you on this beautiful December day? Do you have any snow? Or are you how are you doing?
No. Oh, no. No, I moved far, far away from the snow.
What? On the West Coast, you don't get no snow, huh?
Nah, not where I'm at. Nah.
In Oregon.
It doesn't snow in caves under the ground, sir. Yeah, no, it snows here in Oregon, just not where I'm at. You guys want an address or what? What are you guys doing?
No. But for the audience listening, never go to a village where everyone lives underground. Seriously, dude, do not go to a fucking town where everyone lives underground. I don't need to repeat that. I'm just going to say that when you go, the shit that's above ground is quite concerning. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to comment anymore. You want to know, David?
Oh, yes? TendermintTimmy's not here. I was wondering if he staked his chain link. Because now that chain link is open.
Jimmy fucked him off. Jimmy pissed him off.
You're saying, I'm talking about TendermintTimmy.
No, but Jimmy pissed fucking Timmy off. So Timmy left. Jimmy, right, Finn. We've been trying to coach Jimmy tonight on Spaces etiquette. Finn, can you help out, bro? Like, how should you behave?
Well, yeah, Finn? I mean, that's easy. Like, I mean, clearly he listens. He figures out what each person's goat is, and then he gets that fucking goat. It's really interesting, and I'm a fan. I appreciate what he does, shaking up the monotony of these spaces, especially the spaces where it's like, all right, I'm going to interview this group or this project or protocol or whatever, but instead of like doing any sort of research to kind of see like what the questions they've been getting asked are, I'm just going to like ask them all the same questions. I mean, I could pretty much cut and paste probably any of the last like 30 or 40 shill spaces with any of the other ones.
You know, main questions are this. How are you guys so incredibly successful? Why is your community so great? What has been your success because you have a lot already? Those are the types of questions that people like Robo asks that projects that come in.
So you're talking about Racøøn. You're talking about Racøøn.
And a lot of you guys offer softball questions to scam projects, and you continue to scam people.
No, Racøøns are like, why are you guys so successful? Like, how? I mean,
hold on though. If that's the attitude, I mean, then like the whole crypto space is a scam. Like, you can't just come in and be like, oh well, that one's scamming, but that one's not, because like literally everybody's just sharing the same roadmap. So it's either all a scam or most of it is.
Roadmap or skid map? Finn, roadmap or skid map? Finn knows. Is it the roadmap or skid map?
Yes, the copy pasta. Remember that space when I was Control C and Lil Gaines was Control V and Control R? That I don't know if people got that. That's our. See, we don't have to do how Jimmy does and just roll into a space and start screaming like jihad, fuck you. We are very much more subtle about how we troll, which is why we don't get kicked out of spaces every time we come up to speak.
Being kicked out.
You could learn. But also, I appreciate his way of going about it as well. Because obviously we can't all be like chill sly foxes in hen houses. Some of us have to just be bulls in china shops and just come barreling in and you know, breaking some glass. Sometimes you gotta break some glass.
My opinion, I will take 50 Jimmys over 1,000 Comdex shillers. Right, that's my opinion, yeah?
Apples and oranges, but yeah. And I mean, we'll see what happens. Nobody really knows, right?
Good night. I'm out.
It's peace out, G. It's also the intent behind it. Like, some projects start out with good intentions and then just shit happens. And then other projects just start out like completely on the grift. So I think it is important to kind of differentiate between the intent, if or when possible. But what's up, Gus?
Before Gus comes, Gus, 1 minute. Before Gus comes in, Finn, can we have an update on the schlong? Are we minted out, or what's happening to the schlong, Finn?
Well, I've been testing the depths of the amount of schlongs any one given wallet is allowed to mint. And so far, I'm pleased to say I have not reached that upper limit yet. For the sake of research, I will continue trying to see how many schlongs can possibly fit in one wallet. And, you know, it's just a fun thing. It's just a fun project. And they didn't pay me to say that.
Oh, okay. I only asked before Gus, because Gus, you're the secret guy, you're the secret lawyer. Gus, how many schlongs have you minted, Gus?
Well, first of all, I'm not a lawyer for secret. I'm just a secret agent, and I represent him at booths once in a while, that kind of thing. But I was in the store and I was looking for new headphones, and I was hearing the whole Jimmy thing, and I've never, I don't know you, Jimmy. The first time I ever heard you is you jumped into a secret space and asked Tor, the last 5 minutes, asked Tor some off the cuff questions. They weren't off the cuff, but they were just not within the realm of the discussion. So in any event, Robo's a really good guy. He knows how to work the room and everything. That's one of your best talents, Robo, is you know how to work the room. You really do. And you're very sociable. So I've never heard you drone on and on about somebody before. And so I said, well, I don't know Jimmy. I'm not going to make any judgments. So until I know him better. And so far, my decision is I'm just going to, get to know Jimmy as Jimmy is and find out for myself. But so far, what he said hasn't really bothered me at all. But I said, but Robo's going off. And I'm like, that's really weird. So, my decision is I'm going to give Jimmy a chance. I'm just like a brand new person. I don't even know you. You don't know me. And the other part is a question. Someone mentioned about staking Chainlink today. I'd like to hear more about that because I did hear it in the news. But anyway,
so listen, real quick.
Nice to know you, Jimmy. Nice to meet you for the first time.
Bummer, he's not in here. But I sent him a message and said that people were trying to talk to him. Can you hear me, Gus?
Yeah, I can hear him. This is my first time ever in a car on Spaces. Oh, first, isn't it? Isn't it great?
Yeah, I take my Spaces everywhere. I go to the gym. I have Spaces going all the time. So I have a question.
I'm a pleb. I'm a newbie, so give me a break. But I understand.
No. It's okay. Listen, so the Chainlink staking, if you had Chainlink before like the snap shot, you can have early access to stake your Chainlink on staking.chainlink.link. But if you didn't have Chainlink before the snapshot, then you have to wait one more day, and then you can add to the community pool. And the community pool locks down after 22,500 link. And the return on reward is
I've had Chainlink since 2019. Sorry to interrupt you. I've had it since 2019. I'm good for that. Thanks for the details. What was it? What was the website again? I'm sorry.
It's staking.chain.link. And then it'll bring you to Chainlink staking. Awesome. You're welcome.
Sorry to have interrupted you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's it.
Thanks for answering, by the way.
Oh, no worries. I was just like wanting to see who was linking, staking their link or whatever. Their stinky linky.
Well, there's two amazing bands. There's two amazing things like that to talk about, right? There's two amazing talking points. The first one is can anyone tell me any spaces that's tried to give Jimmy as many chances as what we have, right? Who constantly will keep doing that, because whether we agree or not, everyone should have a voice and not aggravate some people, right? But the first thing is, Gus, I heard you, yeah, we want to, we're not going to stifle anyone, even if we don't agree, or, I know sometimes he's had to go because he's said things that are, too bad, and he has actually overstepped the mark, in my opinion, personally, and, he's got to, it'll take him, 5 years to get back in my good books, right? The other thing was, Bbandz, how much did TendermintTimmy pay you to shill his link bags.
Yo, no.
Bro,
I
thought
Link.
they were.
Listen.
I thought they planned that shit. I thought it was
No.
She's like, all right, now Gus, you come in and
love-
ask me the same.
No.
Yeah.
Listen.
I thought that.
love
Bbandz.
Chainlink.
You mean Bbandz, Finn? Bbandz.
I do love Chainlink. I have to wait because I bought it after the Snapchat, but I do love Chainlink. I bought it a bunch before and then I sold it for profit, and I wish I just would have held on to it. But I think I'm super excited about the Oracle. I'm super excited about their leader. It's just a great project. And this was like one of the first cryptos that I bought, tokens that I bought was Chainlink. So I'm excited that their staking features finally open, and I can't wait to see the more that they do.
Hey, is that your dude in the background, or is that Robo?
Listen, my babe screams when he talks.
He's going mad.
But I got used to it, though.
That's not
you
me.
You guys will too.
That's not me, Finn. That's not me.
I thought I heard him in the back being like, fuck Chainlink, you made me buy it at the top, that fucking bullshit. Now I'm down 90%. I don't know. It was very faint though in the background. Wasn't sure.
No, he's on a call with his work. He's on they get in trouble. He's like, I'm in a meeting and you're here yelling with your friends.
We're in a meeting too, all right? This is our meeting.
I like Finn. I like Finn. Finn, listen, like, how am I handling Jimmy? Because I'm trying to not be one of those plebs that just either block him or put him down.
Besides being one of the plebs that keeps him just bringing up as a point of discussion, I think unless there's something that needs to be addressed, I think you guys like discussing him because he's fun to discuss. And when you say his name 3 times, he appears. But I mean, other than that, it's just another character, right? CT is full of characters. Some characters try to get under people's skin and get reactions out of them. Other characters are just there to get paid by Asset Mano and Comdex to show bags. It just depends, what you're in it for. And I think he's one of those characters that comes in to just shake the shit up,
Yeah, but imagine if he was controlled and calm, like Rarma, and methodical. He could take things apart. He does. The thing is, it annoys me so much when he gets taken out of the conversation, because he does actually know a lot of shit, and he has.
Well, yeah,
that's what annoys me, dude.
You don't know that he's not doing that. He's just not doing that in these spaces, right? You don't know what he's doing the rest of the time. They could be there curing cancer for all we know, or they could be there planning the next jihad. Nobody knows.
I've been in his spaces. Dude, you know something? He was. I was in his spaces the other day, right? Because he keeps messaging me in Thai. He keeps he must do a translation. He's like, please join me in this spaces, right? Well, he does it in Thai. I don't even know what he thinks if I speak Thai, right? But when I was growing up, right, you always had to take pity on the kid that didn't fit in. Finn, I was brought up the kid that was always the outsider,
we're empathetic people, People say that about us a lot, especially you. They say that Robo, he's one of the most empathetic people I've ever met. So I get where you're coming from.
Dude, he has so much to give, but he tries so many people's patience to such a degree that they can't deal with it. If your man can,
right, but it's by design though. That's what we have to realize. Everybody shows people on social media what they want people to see or what they want to be perceived as. Right now, I'm perceived as Finn Schlongington. I'm a long schlong Kong smoking a do and hanging out with you guys. But that's the whole point of it, is that people you only see what they want you to see, or what they post, or maybe what slips out via micro expressions and stuff like that on videos. But as far as the rest of the stuff, just the audio in these spaces, it's just like throwaway content of people either trying out new material, trying out new personalities and characters, or just, taking the piss, like y'all like.
Quick question then. What about Rec News version 2, V2? What about the burn? Like, did you see them?
I'll tell you, ever since they moved into the barn, there's been this like crazy vibe. I don't know if they're doing like psychedelic DMT sessions in there before they're doing their news or what, but there's a weird smell and an even weirder vibe. But you know what? They're paying the rent, so I'm gonna let them stay as long as they don't put holes in the walls.
One of the best ones last night was when live on the spaces, like Robo fucking pushes back on Jacob about osmosis development, and then
I
and then makes incomprehensible sounds.
I think what they're doing, though, like all joking aside, is filling an important area of coverage, and that's the fully anonymous. You can say whatever you want because you're fully anonymous, and they're using that to a positive point, I think, and using humor and shining light on all the dumb fuck shit that these people are doing. So I think it's important because, like, me and you, I mean, we could do that, but then everyone will be like, oh, there's Robo and Finch Longington, just a couple of fucking salty ass haters. But Rec News does it. Nobody knows who the fuck they are. It's not me. I would tell you guys I wouldn't tell you if it was me, but it's not me. And like, they can say the shit that we're all thinking, and they're in all of our group chats because they say the shit we say in our group chats, which is awesome. We need somebody to be able to do that. That's not us.
Oh God. Do you know the funniest thing? The funniest thing about Rec News ever, mine to date, is the other day when Kevin started like replying to someone, and Kevin Garrison, right? And he got halfway through his sentence, he's like, and he literally typed like, "Oh, what the fuck am I?" He's like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, reply to this, like,
why am I even typing this right now? I get to that point sometimes when I'm like introducing different spaces, and I'm like, you know what the fuck? Why am I even fucking doing this? And sometimes I'll like record that shit, like the side conversations. Most people don't listen to them all the way through or the beginning, so they miss a lot of that fun shit I put in. But yeah, like the stuff with the Jovember. Like the last one, I was like, are we really still calling it okay, I mean, if they paid the bills, we'll call it Jovember, like that kind of shit,
So for anyone that didn't like listen properly to last night, right, I said, I think this was about like 35 minutes before I got to ask the question, right? Like 35 minutes before, I was like, Jacob, osmosis, like Jacob, like, well, MEV, osmosis are going to do this. And I was like, right. And I waited, guys. And I waited. And I said, I interrupted. And I was like, well, I want to come back to Jacob and ask about the osmosis. You've got to go back and listen to catch this, guys. It's incredible if you do catch it, right? You'll hear me saying, like, well, I'm coming back to osmosis. I'm not going to let this go. And then I waited like 35 minutes for the bullshit. And I was like, well, Jacob, I've just put a tweet up. What about osmosis? Like, what about this development and blah, 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 right? And then Rec News are like, straight away, I knew Rec News would be able. The funny thing was, I established, like, previously in the conversation that, yeah, like, I'm going to ask this question in a moment. Like, don't think I'm going to forget. I'll wait. It was like 35 fucking minutes in the call before I could ask. Listen, enjoy.
Well, and I think that's what's important about this shit. Because if people like that end up getting a bunch of questions like that, they're just going to stop coming on these spaces, right? Like, they don't have to come out and talk to anybody. So it's got to be done in like a more couth manner like that. And I think the way Rec News is doing it is definitely the way for now.
Well, dude, they are reporting on what we already said. And I didn't say anything like derogatory or, I mean, what I did is I put up a receipt and I was like, look, dude, like 12 months ago, I was saying that like in 6 months, like this will be the best thing on planet Earth, like the best thing since like sliced bread. And like, dude, we're like 6 months past that date, and we're nowhere near like what I thought or where I thought we were going to be. I mean, Finn, there's in this game, there's a level of bullshit, but when it actually comes to like development and the people like produce and put the shit on the line, like, dude, that's where you can see what's going on, can't you? And I respect Harvey. Harvey was like, well, you know, Jacob, like Robo, or other people who might not like understand to go on the GitHub and blah blah blah, and look at all this, what's going on under the hood, right? Like Harvey even like backed it up with like a bit more technical question, and I mean the answer was still like bullshit, wasn't it? The answer was like, well, me brother. I mean, dude, listen, Finn, I don't want to hear Sonny is my brother or Sonny is my internet brother again. I'm fucking sick. I've been listening to that for 12 months, Finn. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, like the on-chain data it doesn't lie for the most part. So you can really tell, and I mean, it's finances. Whenever monetary things are involved, people get super emotional, and they have, you know, this kind of do or die mentality when it comes to it. And so all you really have to do is just look at the bags that people are holding, and you'll clearly see why, for the most part, that they are acting or backing the things that they are backing. You know, everybody is just trying to look out for their own bag's best interest, as silly as that sounds. But I mean, I get it. Like it's just business. It's Apple and Android. It's fucking Osmosis and Kujira. If you didn't have these sorts of antagonist, protagonist things happening, it would be a very boring space, and there would be much more capitulation than what we've seen, I think.
Well, I'm a bit pissed off about Kujira. I am annoyed about that, guys. So that, you know something? I'm friends.
Don't FUD my Kujira bags. Hey, don't FUD my Kujira bags, you motherfucker.
I'm pissed off with the people going after Kujira. They came.
Yeah,
listen,
fuck those people.
Guys, listen. If you can come on stinky in the brain, and you can pass that like Rarma fucking litmus test, right? They were on for like nearly like 3 hours, right? Dead Man Dove or whatever his name is, right? If you can come on, right, and you can pass the Rarma sniff test, right? I'm telling you, you're good. And I mean, they did so well that night. That interview was fucking so good. I remember coming home in the taxi, like, Rarma, you'll have to do this. Like, I couldn't even do it. I was on the way home. We just added schedules. I'm like, Rarma, you'll have to like do it all yourself. Hey, it's so good because they had answers. And dude,
hey, Gus.
Jacob's only pissed off because of closed source. Why is Jacob pissed off with Kujira? Closed source. That's it. That's end of argument. His only problem is closed source. That's it.
Hold on.
And yet,
hold on. I just want to. I don't mean to cut you off, Robo, but I know Gus was like holding his hand up forever, and he never actually got to say anything.
Oh, dude, I'm not even.
He was AFK. He was AFK. That's the international signal for AFK.
Is I thought that was the Seppi, or no? Did Seppi bring that up? Or was somebody else that you said?
I've been seeing it in spaces a lot more, so I gotta go with that idea. Maybe not. Maybe he had. If he had something to say though, he could just jump in.
Sorry, Gus. I do apologize, Gus. I didn't say that.
I'm sorry, also, Gus. I apologize on behalf of Robo and the whole RAC community. I'm sorry.
Wait, Gus is probably glad. He didn't speak, because if it was recorded, I mean, oh my God. Imagine what happens like the minute that like Gus is like
the smell.
Recorded.
So you want an even faster litmus test on a project's standing and their worth? Just ask them if they've donated to TerraSpaces or not, and that'll tell you everything you need to know right there.
And could be right. Gus, hello, Gus. Here there.
I think he was AFK. I think you guys were right.
Gus, you got the floor. Hello, Gus. Got the floor.
Oh, cunt.
He's been. Are you all right, Gus? Or what? Hey there.
We need to send medical attention. Are you okay, Gus?
He's been rugged. Can you remember the next day after his spaces when I did the wellness call? Oh my God.
But yeah, that's usually a pretty quick like litmus test. It's the same idea as like when you go out with people, you can tell a lot about them by how they treat the wait staff and that kind of shit. Like we're basically just the wait staff here, like just archiving spaces, and you can tell a lot about how a community or a lead feels about a community based on, and obviously it's not 100% because some of these projects and stuff just literally don't have the funds, and like I'm fine with that. I'll still archive their shit if I can, but the ones that have funds that are like, nah, we don't need this history documented, fuck it, we don't need it. And then there's a very big difference between that attitude and the attitude of the ones that are like, yeah, man, you're doing awesome work, like we want to support that because it benefits not just our community but all the communities. And that to me speaks volumes to it, not just because it's like my thing, but like that to me, just how they act in that scenario tells me a lot about them.
The real litmus test is the fact that put Rarma on 2 sub-DAOs. So your man, who I do believe highly has like the best level of like integrity like I've ever seen. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens over like, you know, the pursuing weeks or months, because I mean, if anyone's going to hold anyone accountable, it's going to be your man Shoebox, right? But the pressure on him to hold people accountable is probably going to be like pretty intense. Do you know what I mean, Finn? Like I'm trying to like word this like as nicely as I can. Like,
yeah, no. Once you start down that road and that's your reputation, people are going to hold you to that, definitely. So if that's what he wants to do in this space, like he's carving out his niche, and we don't have very many people doing that. And the ones that do, I don't think are as verbose in public as he is.
Correct.
And I think that's important. Like we need that, because I don't understand that shit and I don't have the time to dig through that shit. And I mean, I'm sure Rarma doesn't either, but he's really good at utilizing the time he does have to maximize what he's able to produce and then bring forward to the group, which is super important.
Correct. And you know why I'm saying this, right? It's because you look at like plebs, like Cyborg, who did the like full report and forgot to include like his employer's wallet, right? Which like totally like discredited him and like put his like credibility like in the gutter. I mean, Cyborg, after what he did with that, like that was like really like, dude, really? You're just like a giga pleb. The thing is with Rarma, he has the chance to change the status quo. He has a chance to actually change what we've believed or perceived to be the way that things are being done. And an extension of that was Jake's proposal on Commonwealth. It's been, I mean, it's how long now, guys? I mean, you're talking like April, right? We were having spaces in April saying Core 1 must go. What's Jake saying now? Jake's basically saying like Core 1 must go, and it's like originating from, right, in its original manifestation, that Core 1 has to go before we can even think about progressing, right? And don't even get me started on the comms now. I like.
Well, and that's the cycle, right? Everything's cyclical. People come and go, and this is a small kind of piece of the guard changing in a way, I think. And it's good. It's what, keeps things fresh. It's what keeps ecosystems able to move forward, I think. Otherwise, you just get left with that stale kind of like Schiller mentality of like, all right, we're just going to like hype these projects and we're going to pump our bags and then we're going to dump on everybody and then we'll move on to the next. And that's kind of what the last kind of guard was in a way.
You know why I'm so salty? I mean, obviously, I was like a Juno Genesis kid, right? My problem is that like Prop 4, Prop 4, we had Prop 4, right? I mean, the thing is, guys, this whole thing is just to get rid of Wolf. Like, literally, like Lobo, whatever he's called, Plebo, fucking Wolf or whatever his name is, he must fucking go. He has to, man. It's never going to revolve. And I like the fact that Jake, like, I mean, Max is questionable. The Freya is certainly not questionable to, like, bring on to, like, that, the Core 1 sub-DAO. But, I mean, couldn't they have done this? I mean, I know they couldn't because of DAO version 2, right? But they could have effectively, Finn, like, transitioned to a DAO a long, long time ago. What I feel is, and stop me if I'm wrong, Finn, a lot of retail, right, have gathered the fact that, like, a lot of validators, a lot of core devs have gotten rich off Juno quite quickly. They dumped all their tokens all-time high, blah, blah, blah. There's no development, right? Finn, I mean, am I a little bit paranoid that, like, we should be paranoid with everything that's going on? Do you know what I mean, bro? I can't trust anything in Juno now. I can't trust anything.
It's relative for sure. Like, you being around since the beginning have a different perspective and experience compared to somebody like me who was in Terra during that time and didn't come over until after the crash. So I didn't experience buying like Juno when it was like way up there. I bought Luna when it was like $50 and $80 and $100. So yeah, like, we have a different experience. And I think obviously everybody, depending on when they got into the space and depending on who or what their feed exposed them to when they got into the space, because obviously everybody has their clicks and they're shilling different things, or they're holding different bags and participating in different communities. So it all like depends. And I think somebody like you that has that experience from being in it from the very beginning, like, you've seen the whole cycle. I've only seen part of the cycle, and it definitely, we have different views on it. But at the end of the day, like, our views become one view when people are like being shitty and devs are taking advantage, and DAOs need to be put in place to prevent that kind of shit. And yeah. What's up, Gus? Are you AFK or you got something to say, Doug?
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Like, pulled into my driveway, you know how the internet connection jumps from another and there's a lag, and so all of a sudden I get back on and everyone's like, oh, I'm really sorry, Gus. Sorry about that, Gus. I'm like, I didn't hear anything. No hear, no foul, no harm. So I'm just listening from here on because it's so spotty in this small little coastal town that I live in. So you guys have a good one. I'll just be listening from here on. It's a good conversation.
Gus,
and Robo, nice sit down,
Gus,
man.
Wait, Gus, you know that we ensure that everyone who comes on the spaces, right, who comes up to talk and share, right, you need to have a heart of gold, right? That's all I care about with anyone is your heart good, right? Is your heart clean? Is it good? Can I trust you? Gus, you're in that fucking bracket. Like, I talk to your man Gus, I'm like, has he got a good heart? Is he a good person? Like, is he gold or what? And it's like, yes. Dude, you tick all the boxes, mate. Go and enjoy your fucking shit and listen in, Gus. But yeah, you tick all the boxes, bro. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
He's blushing. I can hear him.
Yeah, thanks. No, that was, I didn't know Jimmy's history and stuff, but, now that I think about it, you had a really long, good sit-down, well-needed sit-down with him, and you were the only person, I think, in the world that was willing to do it, from what I gather after that conversation. No one else would do that, and I got to say...
I'll not give up on Jimmy. I'll not give up. Gus, I'm not going to give up on Jimmy. I swear to God. Listen, if my heart and my soul can be redeemed, anyone can be, like, and I'm telling you, I'm not going to fucking get around the fire singing Kumbaya, because V's going to drop in a minute. V'll drop in the chat like, Robo, what are you talking about? But no, seriously, hey, I'm not prepared to give up on Jimmy. I don't care. Like, that's not me. Like, I'm not willing to go there. Like, you have to just, if people can't realize how shit actually works, right, in the real world, yeah, whether they're clever or not, we're going to have to try to fucking help them, man. Can't we? You can't leave any man or woman behind, man. It's just not right, man. We have to try, man. and I'll keep trying. Whether that's a failed enterprise or not, I'm not going to give up on Jimmy. I'm not. Sorry. I should do, but I'm not.
Don't you give up on me! Don't you dare give up on me! I'm not gonna give up on you, baby! We're gonna make it! We're gonna fucking make it!
Finn,
you know what I'm looking forward to? I don't know if Tank's got any time, but I kind of want to hear about this new Maneki drop as a Maneki V1 holder. I'm super stoked for this.
I saw them.
I don't know if you got time, but if you got
them. I saw them, Finn. I saw them. They were nice, weren't they? Those Manekis, like, I saw them. They were fucking nice little... I saw a couple, like, I saw the koi, like, is it a koi fish in the corners or something?
Yeah, we have some koi fish that have been refurbished and paid homage to our first drop that we did. These are two different projects, obviously, but we are obviously still sticking with the theme for Maneki or whatnot, but they're being treated as two different projects entirely. So I just want to definitely put that out there. But no, yeah, I snuck out there with my poor spelling. Unfortunately, I noticed later, and somebody pointed it out that I apparently mistakenly even spelled Maneki wrong in my own damn post. But anyway, I put out some teasers. I did. I was like, God damn it.
Wait, what about Rarma? What about Rarma's pronunciation? Menekai.
Menekai. I love when he does that, dude. I'm like, what the fuck? Who's this guy talking about? No, I love
yes,
it.
Brother Menekai. We've raised many barns together, Brother Menekai and myself, yes.
But no, yeah, I snuck out some teaser images that we've, feel decent about. It's still very much being worked on. We have a lot of different traits, a lot of different rarities, a lot of different super, super scarce and like special rare ones. And of course, like, we have a lot of traits that we're using to pay homage to certain individuals, certain groups, certain teams in the space. Racøøn being one of them, Spark IBC. Of course, we have to do something with the Knots team, so I'll tell you that in just a little bit. But yeah, like Reapers, all this other stuff, a lot of nods to a lot of individuals and a lot of teams, who I think have been good actors and beneficial to our space. Not to say if anybody's not on that, not to say that you guys aren't, but like, obviously if we formed a relationship, it just is what it is, right? Look, next time form a relationship with people. But anyway, so we put that out there. Super excited about. There's 4,444 NFTs. Whitelist will be for $20. Regular sale will be for $30 once that's done. Of course, Maneki V1 holders get whitelisted. Raccoons, obviously, I've talked to Mo a long time ago, and he did it within a freaking less than a day. He put up a place on the Raccoon website where you guys can put in your star's address, and he's going to give it to me. So anybody that's holding a Raccoon gets a whitelist opportunity. You can only max mint on whitelist, I think 1%. So since it's a collection of 4,444, you can mint 44 off whitelist. And then there's unlimited, obviously, on regular mint. But so Raccoons, Knots. I wanted to do something for Knots holders because it's unfortunate what happened with them. And of course, Maneki wouldn't be a thing if Knots didn't help me with the original one anyway. But like all Knots holders, because now people that are holding Knots, like there's not shit you can do for them, right? But all of them will also have whitelist spots. So if you're holding a Raccoon, if you're holding a Maneki, if you're holding a Knots, you all get whitelisted opportunities. If you holding a original, I think it's the original Sunnyside Reaper, I have to get with them to make sure that that's correct. But Reapers, obviously, since they're helping us do this one, you also get whitelist spots. And then Space Skellies, they were really, really friendly. It reached out to IBC Gang, myself, many times in the past. Their entire collection will be snapshotted. All of these will be snapshotted sometime this week, by the way. So if you hold those, you also get a whitelist spot. I don't know, Rec Gang, like I want to give them whitelist spots, but I think I'm going to be able to give out there so many because obviously they weren't like originally minted in stars. They weren't originally, I know they're on loop secondary, but I don't know how that goes. So I want to give a nod to them because they've been really, really, they've been reached out to me many times trying to support us and trying to get things out there. They're actually giving for the next community game day a floor wrecked NFT along with 4 different subs next Thursday for the community game day, in which that is, I do those every Thursday live on my streams, where I don't care where you are in the ecosystem. If you're a secret fanatic, if you love Juno, you're a Cosmos Hub maxi, if you like, whatever you like, everybody is free to come there, just hang out, forget about the fucking bad times, play some marbles online, and I give away my own Juno each week to first, second, and third place winners. And so it's just my way of trying to make things easier and better for people. But next week we're having them actually co-sponsor it. I'm still giving away some Juno, but they're going to be giving away a rec NFT and then also four subscriptions to the channel as well. So that's pretty cool. So
Bro, you know what you should do? You should let the rec news give away the whitelist. Have you been seeing how they've been doing giveaways and shit? How they just I told them say a giveaway and then that's awesome. I would love to see that shit.
All of them, I love all of those communities that I listed off, and it's just for a lot of people have been asking me oh, is there giveaways and all this other stuff? For reasons that I can't openly say, and because I want to actually make a difference and do things differently and change the narrative and change the way that we've been experiencing things. I can't say certain things, or I won't. There is no free version 2 Manekis. Even for myself, there will be no free giveaways. There is no hoarding them off special ones and giving them out there. I don't agree with. I get it. I don't like it. I won't do it. I'm not doing it myself. I will pay for as much whitelist NFTs as well, just like everybody else. So there's no free passes.
Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't mean giveaway. I meant whitelist, because you were talking about how to Rec Gang and the Rec News has been saying they're doing these whitelists and these giveaways and then telling them to just go talk to the project. This shit made me crack up so bad.
I saw it too. I was like, these motherfuckers. But no,
you'll win if they decide to give you one, but that's up to you guys. That's so good.
But so it's unfortunate. It's an uphill battle. I let my actions speak louder than any of my words could ever. Every day, I say it consistently, because you have to be consistent. You have to mean it. You have to be committed. We have to prove ourselves every single day to the community from here on out. As long as you want to be part of the community, I think it should always be that way. We should never ride on our past glories. That's not something that's sustainable or reasonable, in my humble opinion, when you're asking people to spend money or to speculate on spending money on anything, whether it's a token or NFT or anything like that. So again, I can't say this is going to have this utility or this is going to have this benefit. It is what it is. You mint one of those because you want to be part of the community. You want to support something that's different. You want to support a different narrative, or you just like the art. Whatever it has to be for yours. And if you don't want to be in it, fine. But don't complain about it later when shit may or may not come to light and you're like, fuck, I missed out on V1.
And
now I'm even bigger.
I feel like that's what happened in the V1 mint, because that was right when I was starting to get into stars and Juno and come over to Cosmos more, and I just it checked a couple boxes on my am I gonna mint this or not. One is is it a cat? I'm a fucking cat weirdo, so I saw the cats. I was like, oh, this is dope. And then I started looking into your projects and the YouTube channel and all that. I was like, oh shit, this guy actually knows what he's fucking talking about. So that checked another box, and then I ended up just minting them. And then coming out with the whole project roadmap that you did, it was just oh shit, I had no idea any of this was happening. And that was actually one of my questions is is that going to follow that V1 roadmap of all right, here's this treasury, we're going to do investing with it, this and that, or it just has its own thing, it sounds like. Okay.
Yeah, I can't say for the betterment of NFT minters, and myself, for the protection of everybody. I don't roadmaps, unless you're a game and stuff like that with NFTs and stuff like that, they're really, I don't know, man. I'm kind of 50-50 on them right now. I will just say this: for reasons that are beneficial for everybody, I will not say anything as far as like speculating on use case or utility or any kind of guarantee or like plans in the future. I know that sucks. It's an uphill battle, not batter. But it is the most genuine answer that I could give people. I can also say this: I never oversight anything. Everything is done for a reason. And I just love taking the high road, which is the longer road, the harder road, but it's the more sustainable and realistic road in what I do. And I'd much rather do that than take speculative means of travel, especially when I'm participating with other people financially other than myself. And so, like, for those reasons, unfortunately, I can't say anything other than like, hey, watch the. If you're not Finn, if you guys are new, you guys haven't watched IBC Gang, listen to anything that I've ever said, partook in a community game day, or been around long enough. Just like, again, my actions speak louder than my words. Just watch my actions, like, and let those things speak for themselves. And it might be enough for some people, and it might not. And it is what it is. Like, I can only do so much. But yeah, that's unfortunately the only answer I can give right now.
No, that's dope. That's perfect. And people can go to terraspaces.org and search for CryptoTank and find a whole bunch of spaces that you do. They can go to your YouTube and watch all your videos. Like, there's a ton of content there that people can use to do their research to decide whether or not they want to participate in the community that you're building. And like, it's simple. It's all right there. So I definitely encourage people to at least do some research and check it out.
Someone called me a right dick today. Do you know that? Today, publicly. I mean, I wasn't there. I was working. I tried to like jump in and out of space, right? I was like, well, and like I heard, like I was being called like an absolute dick. And then when I did join, I was being called like an absolute dick for backing up Tank. Well, I wasn't getting called a dick for backing up Tank. I was getting like called a dick in public, right? Live. When I was getting called a dick. I was getting called a dick because
it was me. It was me.
No, you were asleep. I was getting called a dick because I spoke out about someone's very aggressive attitude towards the spirit of Juno. So like. I get the vote. Oh yeah, dude. Dude, today was interesting. Well, I mean, he tried to broach it with me, and I brushed it over like in Robo style. I was like, yeah, dude, you called me a dick. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. And then we didn't talk about it later.
Well, that happened. Wait, that happened today?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh,
in this space?
No. In the for the culture with Gaines for the culture 30. We had middle of the night. I mean, it was like 4 o'clock, like his time was like 4 o'clock his time, yeah. And dude, like for ages, this is like, but you're just a dick. You're a dick. And I went on for so long, and I'm like, oh, dude, fuck's sake. I mean,
y'all been running those night shift spaces like crazy.
Oh, when you're asleep.
Yeah. I feel like every now and again I wake up and see you guys on, and I'm like, oh, I know I shouldn't go in there, because if I do, I'm not going back to sleep, and then I just turn it off. But yeah, y'all been grinding for sure.
Some days, guys, I'm at work, so Tuesday, Friday, I can't join in, and only go like Monday to Friday, because Gaines is on night shift, yeah. They usually start around 1:30 AM EST. So your man's on night shift, yeah, so you can put up like for the culture unrecorded. But dude, we've had people dropping in. So we've had like obviously Ghost dropping in, we've had like Sheldon coming in, and like they're like, oh, it's not recorded. Oh, and you've got people who are like spitting like shit, right? Anyway, last night, and it's no secret, guys, to this. I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't even acknowledge the proper shit, because the funny thing is that, right, I commented on a space, right? And I was very protective of the spirit of Juno. And I was only protective because it had to be put out there. Like I say, I keep talking about the head above the trench, or the head above the precipice, like someone's got to go out there, right, on a wing, right? But if you have a personal agenda that's stopping you from being, suitably in sound mind to cast a decision on something that is for the greater good, which I thought the Spirit of Juno, after its modifications, I thought it was fucking the bang on thing to do, right? I didn't have a problem with it. I can understand some people might have a problem with it, but please don't have a problem with the person who is putting it up. This is the fucking annoying fucking thing about governance is governance is not meant to be about the person. Anyone could have put up the Spirit of Juno, right? Anyone. Not many people dared, right? Please take that conversation. Don't go in the Commonwealth comments, right, and try to be the ultimate cunt because you've got a problem with the person putting it forward.
Hey,
please
quick question.
Please look objectively at the proposal. Finn, today, the guy was like, well, you just a cunt, you, and mate, I couldn't even acknowledge this pleb's relevance. I joined late. He'd already been calling me a cunt for 2 hours or something. And I knew, dude, I knew what was going on. I mean, come on. Even if I'm not honest, I'm getting told, yeah, Finn, yeah.
Do you guys think it would be beneficial to have some sort of a community account of sorts, something it's not any one individual, but it's a group basically, and that is what puts the props up, because that takes away that individual thing, oh, this guy's putting up a prop or this lady's putting up a prop and I don't like them, so I'm going to automatically not like their prop. But if an anonymous group, I mean, I guess it could go both ways, because people see it and be like, who the fuck are these people? We don't know them, so we're not going to vote. But I almost feel like there's a middle road there that you could get a group that people do know and vibe with, and that is who puts these props forward, rather than having an individual attached to it. But just something I thought of.
I agree. No, you're looking for leverage. I mean, that's what we all do in every situation, guys, is look for some form of leverage. What Finn is saying there is quite appropriate. How if there was a group that did this, Tank, Miss Slinky's come up, so we'll come over to Miss Slinky in a second. Miss Slinky, 2 seconds, darling. Tank, I like that idea that when it's a group, a cooperative, to a degree, that's pushing this narrative forward. I like that, Tank. I like that. What do you think?
Yeah, and for no other reason than to just remove that, because we know how people's personalities clash and everything. So if you could basically have, I guess in essence, a personality-less face of it or something. You get what I'm saying, but some group that doesn't have any emotional attachments or connotations to it because somebody had a bad interaction with a person or something. I almost wonder how, if that would improve the interactions, at least on the Agora posts and stuff. But I gotta take off. I gotta take the kiddo to the park for a bit. But okay. I'll be back later. I love you guys.
Yeah, no. Later, bud. Yeah, I know. I agree. I think I've learned a lot from that post. It's really funny, and I won't go into it because I don't think it's not needed. But I don't even know why he has a problem with me, to be honest with you. Very, very honestly, I can go on and on and on about the whole thing, but I think it's ridiculous anyway. I would say it's only my point of view, but it's all fucking bullshit. It's all false. I have no idea why he has a problem with me anyway. But anyway, I definitely think if it was more of a, I don't want to say anonymous, because I believe the same thing. There's some credibility things to go along with that. But obviously, if it was amended, if it was worked on, which I still want to work on it, I still want to push it forward. I don't even care to be on it. I don't even want to be actually literally on that fucking thing. I just think that the idea and that the proposal is what we need, or something of the sorts, for the betterment of our network, of the Juno ecosystem. And so I just thought it was really fun. I think there's a lot to it. I as we were watching and reading and seeing things play out, once I proposed that, I often thought I wonder how this would have gone if this was anybody else other than me. If anybody else would have put it up there, or maybe if it was anonymous, how would this have gone? Like I just, but it is what it is. Like it's.
Well, I mean, dude, today I got called like a proper cunt for like just even trying to. You see, Tank, I wasn't defending you. Wait, Tank, I wasn't defending you. I was defending the action of you, being the first one to put something up like this, right? I explained this before. Like, the man that puts his head above the trench, right? Right? You're either the man behind him that's going to come over the top of him with a gun, trying to give him cover, or you're going to be the man trying to shoot him in the face. I don't want to shoot anyone in the face. Tank, what has happened? Listen, and I don't think anyone's going to be in denial here, Tank, right? What's happened has changed the landscape, right? Overall, what you're seeing now from Jake Hartnell, right? And the Constitution and the rest, right? There was no talk of this before the Spirit of Juno. Like, people need to understand that, like, what it took to be able to put that on the line to get other people and other things happening. Like, and dude, I hate to say this, but I'm not gonna fucking stop until that comes down. It's completely like revised, and there's the whole like flip, and then the people that are there, I want to come in and help and get together and sort something. Like, I'm gonna fucking do what I can, and I'm gonna do everything for free. Like, I'm literally gonna just offer, like, to do whatever I can for free, just to fuck everyone else off that's in it for the money game. You know what I mean, Tom? Like yep. Jake, the Constitution, and then the open source, and then like Jake's want a date to take call one down to a sub down for accountability. Dude, none of this was going to happen without that Spirit of Juno, right? At that particular time. It had to happen at that time, at that moment. Oh, yep. Am I wrong?
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. So, like, again, I'm not looking for credit or whatever. Like, I honestly, when I said I don't even want to be truly the one doing it, I got way more better shit to do and more important things to do than that shit. But, like, the way I looked at it, a lot of people sent me DMs, a lot of fucking hateful shit too. But, like, you're stupid and fucking, you don't know protocol, like, anonymously, of course, because nobody wants to put their fucking name on it. But, like, at the same time, the way I looked at it was like, if you don't put out the sentiment, the initiative, the action, the effort first, like, yeah, there's and I openly said it, there's tons of shit that need to be ironed out and detailed and worked on and stuff like that. But if you don't put it out there now, while all this shit is out there also happening, like, it would be just too late. It had to happen sooner rather than it had to happen at that time. And so, like, I don't know if it never becomes anything, but it sparked a movement. It sparked a reaction from the community. It sparked a reaction from the inner circles to, like, hey, holy shit, they're actually watching us and they're kind of fed up or whatever it is. So be it. If that's the only thing I ever contributed to Juno or is known for, fine. But fuck, man, like, the whole coming at me was ridiculous. I still, again, I don't need to talk about the person, which, trust you me, I could all day long. But there's no need to. It's unwarranted. This for him to feel that way. There was, like, I'll just flat out say it. He was looking to professionally mod. I don't have in excess. Like, I could personally pay him, but I don't want to. That doesn't make any business sense. In excess, IBC gang is not profitable. I don't get funding from anybody. I don't do all this other stuff. I literally told him, I think if you're looking to do this stuff professionally and get paid, and this is your livelihood, that you should probably focus on doing it elsewhere, like Spark IBC or somewhere else where they have the means to pay you. I don't. And, like, I was just being friendly. If I wanted to, like, use him and abuse him and take his services for granted and like, forever, I would have just not said anything and let him stick around and fucking and mod when we don't really need. I have volunteer mods. We don't have, like, weird fucking things happening on our Discord where we need anybody modding anything. It's nothing like that. It's a community-based thing. So again, it was always like, if you're looking to do stuff, like, I'm just gonna be straight with you. Like, I don't need extra professional mods here.
Tank, listen, Tank. When I hear someone advocate for, like, 24-hour Discord moderation or Telegram moderation, whatever it is, right? Like when your job or when the only thing you can do is to be a moderator, like your version of like world events or how things actually happen is going to be like quite skewed, right? You know what I mean, bro? And I'm not the best tank. It's late for me, and I've had a few beers, right? But what I'm saying is, it's quite easy for views to get skewed, right? When like, okay, this is my job. This is what I do. This is like what I have to do. It's the only thing I've got. Like blah blah. And you're like, dude, you're a fucking mod. Like, calm down. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, I mean, and there's a fine line too, right? For like moderators and like team members. I'm air quoting right now and stuff like that. And what they do, they provide a huge service, and they can be very beneficial. But at the same time, it is a tightrope.
Okay, well, wait. What about
it's a tightrope, right? Like you can't yell at people. You can't bring personal feelings into stuff. Like you need to walk that tightrope of moderating and cultivating a community instead of like having a power trip.
No. What about these people who work over multiple projects who don't really give a fuck about the project?
That's you, right? Like, how do you keep your fiduciary duty? How do you keep your fiduciary duty to any, like you're doing a disservice to not just one, but like if you're professionally modding for like several different entities or teams or whatever, like how do you keep your interest or your fiduciary duty to that one that you're committed to in line? You can't. You're spread too thin. Like it's nothing. Like I get it, but like that's why in the real world, like we don't, like there's competitor clause and all this other stuff. Like you can't go work for Adidas and Nike at the same time and moderate for both of them. How are you going to do that? You know?
And you know what's even more cringe? Is like live on a Spaces saying, "Oh, do they need any mods? Drop the mic." Like, and you're like, "Dude, aren't you?" Like literally. Wait a minute, guys. Sorry, please, guys, listen. If I was a mod on L1, right, I would not be looking for jobs like elsewhere. Like or is that me? Am I wrong? I mean, I might be wrong. Like,
commit to the job that you're at. Try to make it succeed. Like, you know, stop looking for breadcrumbs all over the place and try to make a sandwich where you're at. Like, I get it. It's hard. It's like fucking, I get this shit. But like, I don't know. I don't even mean to go like, but there's two sides to every story. Like, you know, whatever. That whole thing was ridiculous.
Isn't it not integrity? I mean,
it is.
To be fair, to be fair, right? My integrity was tarnished. Now, listen, am I going to be worried? Right? No. Why? Because my integrity was tarnished by a pleb that carries like no real weight. Like literally, like, guys.
Lions don't care about the opinions of sheep.
Exactly. You know what? People think like sometimes we're cunts tank or with this or with that. No, we're just willing to like call a spade a spade. Like you can't deny reality. Like this is the worst thing, guys. Listen, in crypto, there are people out there who deny reality. Like shit is like whether you want to talk about the FTX hack. Or FTX before that, right? Whatever you want to fucking talk about, the lunar crash, right? When people would like, nah, I'm going to hold, because like, people, man, there are people who are grounded, that are based in reality, tank. And there are people who are fucking flying around on clouds like fucking Alibaba. Mate, it's not right, tank. Crypto's not right.
Yeah, and you know, it will get there. Like it's bear market blues, right, and stuff like that. Like it's just because the game is labeled something different. It's the same game.
Could you ever bring yourself to call me a fucking dick, right? I mean,
if you're being a dick, that's what a friend does. I'd call you a dick, but like, you know, I'd still, but not behind your back. No, I wouldn't do it. I would never do it behind your back. I would never do it with ill intent. I would never do it out of like, you know, just to hurt you kind of thing. I call my friends dicks. I call my friends out when, like you said, call a spade a spade. If my friend is acting like, look, extreme example, right? If we're out and about and I'm out with my my friends who are married or friends who they're dating, and my friend who is my friend is getting a like stupid drunk and starts treating his wife or his date or anybody else that's around him like shit because he's drunk, I'm gonna call him an asshole. I'm gonna call him a dick. I'm gonna call him out on it. I'm gonna tell him he needs to fucking settle down a little bit. But because that's what friends do, because we care.
I'll begin your man a slap. I'll begin your man a slap. Like
yeah,
shit,
but I'm
like,
not doing it to wreck you. Like, I wouldn't never do it to try to, when on a day-to-day basis, going about our lives and stuff like that, try to one-up you behind your back, call you a piece of shit just to give me a social standing that's better than yours or a financial positioning that's better than yours. Like, I don't, like, no, that's childish, that's dumb, that's fucking, that's weak sauce. Like, I would never do that kind of shit. I call things for what they are in front of anybody whenever I see it. And if I'm wrong, I'll also apologize immediately if I'm wrong. But, I call, like you said, I call a spade when I see a spade. And that's just the way that I live my life. Like, I try to be straight up as possible.
Well, that's what pissed me off. I mean, originally, and guys, like what we're talking about now is not like today. It's like at least about a month old, maybe. I don't know, Tank, when did you drop the Spirit of Juno? When?
Oh God, it feels like a fucking year ago.
I bet it does. I bet it does. But certain individuals commented, on the Commonwealth with a bit like a venom, and that's what I tried to say to Dave. Like, look, dude, get your opinion across, please. Like, if you're gonna go, there's a difference between talking between us and then going public and posting on Commonwealth, right? Like, what I would say on the spaces compared to what I would say on Commonwealth, the two different things, right? Yeah. Commonwealth, you can be like a non, blah, 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 whatever, right? So on Commonwealth, it's your opportunity to try and be as based as you can. Yeah, I understand you might have strong opinions, right? I understand you might not like it or you're opposed or blah, right? That's how governance works, right? So what you do is, if you want, anonymously, you can like voice your opinion, right, on Commonwealth, right? But then if you're going to back that up, right, and come in the real world with some shit, well, you're going to have to come on the spaces, right? And you're going to have to talk, and you're going to have to explain yourself, yeah? And I didn't say that, right? I saw a little coward in the shadows, right? A little coward, right? There was ample, and I mean ample, opportunity to come online and say what you like, what you think. You think like the minute you start speaking, like people are going to shout you down. No, we're not Jimmy the Otter, bro. You came on today, right? You called me a dick for fun. I rode over that and I continued the conversation. I treat you like a normal person, right? But you had the problem, yeah? Right, dude? You had the personal problem, right? And you had the opportunity to fucking come on live on any of those spaces at any given time. You give some bullshit excuse today about like how bad the snow's been and blah blah blah. Dude, that was weak as fuck. I sniffed your weakness, you know? Dude, when you were talking about that today, I was like, he called me a cunt 2 minutes ago, and then your man's fucking sniff his weakness, man. Like, he called me a cunt, and then like next minute he's excusing himself. Dude, you fucking stunk. Hear me now. And I'll talk to you tomorrow, no problem. Anyway, Tank, I wasn't happy with that. And I think that, listen, if you're gonna go on Commonwealth and let your mouth go with paragraphs, get on spaces, Tank. You shouldn't be allowed on Commonwealth if you can't go on spaces with talk to people like this and debate shit. Fucking sit
yeah,
with it.
I think the problem a lot that I see, and this is kind of a, I think what it is and why it's so interesting and maybe so much more than what it needs to be, it's because it's actually a great example of a bigger problem throughout the cosmos. It's not just actually one individual. It kind of seems like a greater issue with governance and what we're dealing with in the Cosmos ecosystem. Like I said, we are being socially and financially civil attacked throughout the Cosmos ecosystem, not in just one particular chain, but it happens that way, especially with governance and voting and stuff like that. I think like when we see people come onto Commonwealth or platforms that they encourage us to do, and they don't give feedback that's constructive, but more or less maliciously, intentfully targeting. I don't know if that's the best way to describe that, but like it's upsetting. You know, it's like, okay, if for Spirit of Juno, if you didn't like it, how about you like come back with constructive criticism instead of like just straight criticism, which was toxic in every right. Like it was meant to be toxic. Like when you first start off with that's fucking stupid or something like that, like who are you actually trying to benefit? Are you lashing out? Or are you like, you know, what's actually happening here? What's the real reason why you're posting? Is it because you don't like the proposer, or you actually don't like, you know, you really don't feel for whatever reason the proposal is beneficial? And if that's the case, like express how it could be better, maybe, you know, like I think that's what I'm sick and tired of seeing is just the straight toxicity that's like just laying in on the Cosmos ecosystem, and especially into some specific chains right now. I'd like to see a lot more constructive building and acceptance from the the core members and these validators, specifically on the higher ups that seem to all sit on the same fucking sub DAOs and chairs every single time. Like, you know, like, hey, okay, you think it's silly, you think it's full of shit, you think blah blah blah. Like, forget the proposer. Let's talk about the content and the essence behind the proposal. Let's do that. Let's actually work towards something beneficial instead of like being toxic as shit, right? Because not everybody's gonna like you, and I'm fine. People aren't gonna like me for whatever reason. I think I'm a cool dude. I think I'm pretty fucking legit. But like, not everybody's gonna go that way.
Jay likes it, dude. Wait a minute. Let's bring some fun in the conversation. With Jake likes it. I know he does. He told us the other day. Wait a minute. Bbandz come up time.
Yeah, I wanted to know what I'm kind of, I think I know what you guys are talking about.
Hello, darling.
Hello, but I just want to kind of make sure that it is what I think you're talking about. Is it about what someone said on the Commonwealth thing for the Juno proposal against Tank's proposal? Is that what we're talking about, or?
It was Grits. I'll just say his name. It was Grits.
Okay, I know. I knew I was gonna say it, but then I was like, well, his name is attached to it. So it's not like he's hiding.
I mean, listen, I was right, guys. He was on the For the Culture today. I was working. Unfortunately, I was devastated as well, man, by this. Right, so I worked from 1:30, but I was working from 1. But I worked. It started at 1:30. And for the first like hour and a half, like I couldn't join in. I listened in a couple of times, but I had to log out for calls, blah, blah, blah. And I wasn't happy. You know, your man wants to call me. I mean, if you're going to call Robo, please, people, do not bring like a fucking knife to a gunfight. I mean, if you're going to go there, like, if you really want to go there, but I try to be the nice guy. Try to put up the olive branch. I haven't got the problem. I called you out. You didn't call me out, did you? I mean, I didn't call you out, did I? I was live on the space and I said, yeah, I saw the comments, that fucking cunts. And yeah, if anyone listened to that after the Spirit of Juno, when I talked to Tank and I expressed how angry I was about certain people's comments, because this is the thing, man. Fucking sick of this. It's always personal shit. Bbandz, I do apologize, but you can't bring personal fucking shit into on-chain governance. So, everyone shut up. I want to hear from Bbandz. She's the only person I fucking trust right now. Bbandz, you can't bring personal shit into on-chain governance. Like, you have to let on-chain governance run how it should run. Am I wrong, darling?
No, I feel like so you're saying that this was more of a personal attack against Tank than it was critiquing him like in a healthy manner.
It had nothing to do with the prop. Listen, this is what I said today. and your man had no answer, right? Right? The attack, that was it. It was a personal. When someone's putting their head above the trench, right, to get people noticed, we don't need that. But like, I mean, if you're gonna make it personal, don't come to me and be a little bitch, Bbandz. I'm sorry.
So here's the thing. I just kind of want to touch back on the previous subject where you guys were talking about people moderating in many different servers, for pay, and that they're, spread to, they're involved in too many different teams and stuff like that. I came in part of the conversation, but we also have to take into consideration a lot of these people are trying to do this, for a living. And so they have to moderate a few different places so that they can be able to afford to continue to do that. So, I mean, maybe I missed the beginning of that conversation, but the other thing is a lot of the places that people are moderating on, they actually are the same exact fucking community members that are in the other groups that they are in anyway. So, I mean, it's essentially the same group of people. Now, I see what, I see if a company's like, no, we only want you to moderate, for us and only focus on us, and you can't moderate or do anything for anyone else. Well, then they should pay them accordingly. And then they don't have to worry about that. But if they are going to, it's a small project. If they're going to say, be a moderator, but I'm only going to give you $100 a month, or, well, then it's not going to cut it in America, for somebody to continue living. But that's just what I'm saying. I'm only FYI on myself. I'm only involved in projects because I want to be. Mm-hmm. I know that I'm not going to be able to make a living out of this, but I enjoy doing it. So I think you have a really good point,
Bbandz. And what I want to say on top of that, I think it's definitely situational. Of course, a lot of times, no matter what, in these conversations, it usually is very situational. I think a lot of it, when it comes into play, like I was in more referencing, like, look, if your NFT projects they're different. They're just different, right? Like, to be honest with you, when you're talking about like, I'm a mod for Osmosis or Juno or something that's other than an NFT project, because it is, as much as people want to believe. No, it's not. It's very different. Unless that NFT project is competing for market share in the same venture that they're doing, like say they're doing an NFT gaming thing or whatever, like it's a little different. But if so long as you're not competing for the business, I think that's totally cool. Go out there, you can be a professional mod and stuff like that. That's totally cool. But it's like when going back into the fiduciary side of things, like when you're trying to promote a ecosystem of sorts, or especially DeFi financial arm or leg or ecosystem, that's when, or a movement of that kind of caliber, that's when things get kind of weird. And like, I should have said that maybe, or made it more clear. That's kind of what I'm aiming when I say like,
oh, okay. I can understand that, and I can see that, but hopefully these big DeFi, these big chains or whatever are paying their moderators accordingly so that they don't have to go, other places because they can't afford to, pay their bills. But that's just what I'm saying. That's all I had to say on that, just because I felt bad. I was like, well, what about those that can't afford and shit, And then we got Chris. We got Chris with his hands up, the awesome moderator.
Yeah, I totally hear you, Bbandz. And Tank's totally right. If you're moderating for like Osmosis or Juno or Chain itself, I feel like you need to have a little bit more knowledge and be able to address more issues of people, because I think that's like the point of the moderator. You have to be able to address issues that the team can't address like daily, and you should be paid accordingly. And you're right, you shouldn't be able, or I mean, you can if you want to, but Tank's right, you'd be spread too thin. But if you're moderating for two chains that are competing for, I don't know, a marketplace, I don't think that's a good thing for yourself, because you're kind of on both sides trying to push a marketplace, and you're just stealing from each community almost a little bit. That's just my view. Like NFT projects, I feel like you can mod for as many as you want, as long as they're not, I guess, competing for the same thing. I mean, most of them are PFP projects, and a lot of them are going to die, to be honest. A lot of the mining positions aren't even going to be there next year.
Yeah, I mean, these are like temporary positions, or like, things that, might not make it. And it's just, I don't know, it is what it is. And I think that I'm very fortunate because I don't have to like work. So I get, you hear him in the background. He's like, 'cause your husband's amazing. But I don't have to. So I do this more for fun. And if I can reap some rewards, cool. If not, I want to learn and be a part of the big movement in the end, but I'm sure there's a whole bunch of people like that anyways.
Hopefully you can hear me. I'm driving in that dead zone part. But to go into that point,
sorry, dude, Tank, I think there's a big difference, like with what Bbandz mentioned, to what like we're inferring to or implying towards, where like Bbandz, I get what you're talking about, like when you like love the project and you're like, we're talking about those like the hired help, right? You know what I'm talking about, the hired help, right? But like, okay, if you hired help, be fine, but like, don't come on a space and like, oh, if anyone knows like any L1 projects, like send them my way, and like, I mean, how many groups can you mod? How many communities can you mod and like feel like you're doing the proper job? No, like
yeah, and that's kind of what I was gonna say to Bbandz. Like, I agree with basically everything Chris and Bbandz and what we've been saying. Like, yeah, it's just when you're doing stuff like that, that's kind of what we were alluding. There's a big difference, and I agree with you, Robo. Super big difference in what we were talking about and what we have problems with versus what we see kind of happening with NFT projects. I'm sorry, I'm trying to drive at the same time.
I like
that sunny side. I like that sunny side down there. Oops, sorry.
Bbandz, I'm going to bring Sunnyside straight up.
Did you look at the PFP?
I heard the day. Guys, I heard today. Listen, today I heard someone say, like, "Oh, I'm modding for like 5 projects. Like, I need a few more. If you can send anyone my way, like, please do." Right? Like, I can't deal with that kind of person. Like, I need to find someone who has some, at least, like slightest like discretion of credibility. Wants to be like involved somewhere, pushing the message forward. Like, if you've got mods, right, that are like just modding, like because of a job and don't give a fuck about your project, that doesn't sit easy with me. I might be wrong, Bbandz. I'm going to go to Bbandz first. Bbandz, sorry, like, if you're going to mod for a project, for my mind, you have to be interested in there. You can't just do it as a job. No, I'm not having that now.
I mean, I kind of have to agree with that. Your heart is, in my opinion, your heart isn't totally there. Like, example, like I modded for Lavana for like 9 months, like 8 or 9 months for free and I spent a lot of time in there because I enjoyed it and because I wanted to be there. And so, my volunteer work, might have been considered more valuable than somebody who's getting paid for that position because they're not going to be as, their heart isn't going to be as much in it. But some people, I mean, if you pay them the right amount, their heart can definitely be in it. Anybody can be bought. So I'm just saying, just a thought, just putting it out there.
Dude, yes. It's really like, no, but fuck, dude, speaking of the person we're speaking of, he was never even in my fucking live streams or the fucking anything, like, ever. I'd be like, yo, if you're like, hey, could you somebody like, hey, Discord link and stuff, like, yo, could you send him? Like, I'm not in the stream. I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck is happening? You can't be a mod if you're not modding. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Can I be honest with you? I spoke to him today. Sorry, guys, that's late. I spoke to him today, and your man won't take a shit unless it's fucking sponsored by someone. I mean, when it gets to the stage, right, where you won't even take a fucking daily turd, right, because it has to be sponsored by, like, a project. Like, I mean, it's not greed, is it? Greed would be term, right? I mean, I'm gonna have to go and think of like what this term is. I'm gonna have to go and look at like etymology to find out what the real,
Are you sure that it's not just jealousy? Because like we just do it for free. Like somebody's like, "Hey, would you represent?"
You're saying I'm jealous.
We're friends. Wait a minute. We're just jealous because the other guy thought of it first.
You're saying I'm jealous. You're saying I'm jealous of that pleb.
I'm saying me and you, like being funny. I'm being funny.
I gotta get out of here real quick, guys. I'll be back later.
Right, he's gone. Bbandz, I know you were. That's the best thing about it, is that there are very few people, Bbandz, listen, very few people who can have the public square conversations that need to and have to take place. Like we're talking about, I mean, what's the conversation about? Listen, someone calling me out. I mean, listen, anyone's followed me for any period of time, right? And Chris, I'm going to bring you in here. If anyone's followed me for any period of time, like, and you think Robo's like on the payroll or taking the piss, like, come on. You have to ask yourself the question, like, don't you? Oh, they've gone quiet. I've been rude.
Yeah, no, I never thought you would be. I thought you had more to say because you always do nice long pauses sometimes.
Well, Chris, people think I'm on the RAC payroll. I can't believe that people think I'm on the RAC payroll. Guys,
you know what? And if you Robo, and even if you were, you're doing a great job. Like either way, it's not. First of all, it's not really anybody's business if you are on the payroll or not, because we're all enjoying being with you. We're all enjoying this time. So I mean, essentially, that doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah, but I also think Robo is the type of person, if he was getting paid, he'd be like, "Look, I'm getting paid this. This is what I'm doing. If you guys have a problem with it, eat it."
Well, I already did this, guys, live on Spaces. So about 3.5, 4 months ago, right, long time ago, I did some work on the GRAC white paper. It was a piece of shit when I got it, and I perfected it, and I put it out, and then I wrote the medium to go with that, right? And like they were like, "Oh, dude, and I was like, "Oh, no." And he was like, "Can we send you like some lottery tickets?" And I was like, "Right, okay, if you want." Dude, they sent me 33 lottery tickets, right? And none of them are winners. Like, literally, if anyone wants to know, if any remuneration that I've had from RAC, and the wallets are public, it's no problem, I can show you. Like, literally, I got 33 lottery tickets, and I didn't win one fucking thing. Man, I've had the worst luck with the lottery. I've never won a lottery prize yet. I put fucking money in for the first 4 months. Oh my God. Me and RAC. People's got no idea how much, like, myself, Rarma and Bobby, like, threw into slots. Man, guys, if you even knew how much Bobby put in, how many spins. I think Bobby got to 40,000 spins before the jackpot was won. And he's just an OG, so he's a big holder, right? It's got like 42 racks, yeah? People don't realise that, like, people like me, that on the inside have, like, lost, like, loads, or, like, been rogued loads, like, with the gambling website. Like, it says it's a laughing matter, but it isn't, but it is, if that makes sense. Now, Bbandz, Bbandz, you need to send me to bed, man. For fuck's sake, man, what time is it now? Been on the go for hours, man. Bbandz, what time is it? Darling,
your time, isn't it like 3 a.m?
Fucking 3? Are you shitting me or what, darling? Oh, yeah, I've just rolled a split. Oh, it's fucking not even 1, man. What are you talking about, woman? What are you talking about? I did. Tanks. No, darling.
You like that? Just threw a number out there. 3 a.m.
I'm worse than Jacob. I'm worse than Jacob, Anna. I'm like the drunk Jacob, right? But what Tank was talking about was true. Yeah. And you know something? He came on today and I'm like, well, what's your problem? He's like, you're a dick. You're a fucking dick, man. And I'm like,
is that dude, wait. That's what he said to you? Is that what I missed? Like, when was this?
This was on the Further Culture this afternoon, Spaces. But wait a minute.
Why did he do that? He just came on and was like,
No, because oh, okay. Do you want? Okay. Oh, Bbandz. Bbandz needs a story, doesn't she? Do you need a story, Bbandz?
Okay, listen. If you guys don't want him to retell the story, or if you don't know what happened,
thumbs down.
You can stop him. I want to hear it. Don't tell me to calm down, Robo.
No, not you. Not you. The audience. The audience, darling, right? I'm going to go in the back room. See, Bbandz, even though weed is legal, I still like to go in my little back room. I've got my little couch, black couch, right, in the back. Wait a minute. I like my back room, you know. I don't feel comfortable there. I smoke outside now because weed is legal in Thailand. I smoke outside where I want. But I like my little back room. Oh, we're all right. What we're talking about, right? We're talking about grits. And we're talking about Tank. Army, right? Is that right?
You were talking about what happened. Come out here, you know, call you a dick or whatever. I don't know why, you know.
He was so upset today. I could tell. The thing is that when Gain started these spaces at 1:30, I was working. I had 1.5 hour, right? 1.5 hours, where I couldn't like get in the space, right? But I was like logging in and listening while I was like doing some work, and then I was on the phone talking to my boss, right? So I was like in and out listening, yeah. And your man Grits came on, and Gain said, "Oh, he's Robo," you know. And your man Grits like, "Oh, he's a fucking dickhead." Like, oh, I felt the venom. I felt it. And it's the same venom in his comments on Commonwealth to Tank's Spirit of Juno signal proposal. Right? If you know what Commonwealth is, right? You put it on there to get like feedback, blah, 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 you're right. So, how do we do this, right? Okay. Tank put the Spirit of Juno proposal on Commonwealth, right? And Grits has got a problem with Tank, right? Obviously. I mean, it's quite personal. That's fucking quite evident, isn't it?
I read Grits' response to Tank's proposal, and even though it was had venom in it, I mean...
Whoa, which one? The first, the second, or the third?
The first one. The first one where he was talking about, you know, that, you know, had a little venom or whatever about the White Knights.
Have you seen the second one? Have you seen the second one? The second one?
No. I have not.
Oh, I think he had 3, if I'm right. He had 3 comments, right, guys, and it was quite evident that the split in the IBC gang and blah, 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 whatever, right? But listen, what was happening with that prop at the time didn't warrant that conversation. Like, if you know what I'm talking about, yeah? Like, bring your, like, problems, your personal battles up, like, in a different arena, different, like, format, whatever, right? Like, literally, we already knew that there would be a dev opposition to the proposal. I mean, bear in mind, Tank's proposal was just to try to get, like, the core devs taking the community response, like, taking them seriously. This is like, Tank's proposal was nothing other than let's make everybody pay attention to this, and it did its job, right? And I do understand that your man might have been frustrated or whatever else, right? And okay, and the first like reply or whatever, I can, you know, but then he went on, didn't he? And then he went on, and you know, when you're trying to be sensible or adult, you know, that level of like venom, the level or the lack of like diplomacy is why like someone like this would never like get on in life, like literally like moderator, like checking things 24 hours a day, where he's like the best chance this guy's got to like getting ahead. So yes, Bbandz, I was a little bit annoyed about that. Anyway. I tried logging back on today, and I couldn't, blah, blah, blah. And all I heard when I did log in, I was heard like, oh, he's a fucking dick. And, you know, I came in and I was like, you don't want to give a pleb more airtime than they've already warranted. Does that make sense? Like, Bbandz, like, I'm not, like, your man's already been let his mouth go. I'm not going to fucking give him fucking airtime. Why would I do that? Be a fool.
I'm trying to look for the other thing he wrote. The response. You said that there's more than 3 responses, but I didn't.
No, there should be at least 2. There should be at least 2. I thought there were 3, but there should be at least 2. I read 2 responses. I do know I read 2 responses. I do know. And there was a bit of venom in there, man. It wasn't right. I mean,
there was venom, but
you read it?
I'm not going to sit here and say that it didn't have points. But there was venom, and there was no need for.
No, I agree. I agree with you. Content versus delivery, Bbandz. Listen, this is where the fine art is, isn't it? Content, right, versus delivery. What you say versus how you say it. I mean, the two clearly like distinct things. It's like the more serious the thing is, you've got to say, like, the more serious you need to say it. Like, if it's like serious, like, don't Bbandz, maybe he's like been following myself and Rarma too much, and he doesn't know how to actually do like the proper, like, high level trolling, shit on people's protocols. You know.
Oh my gosh! So this is all your fault then. Oh my god.
Well, listen, darling. Robo and Rarma have shit down to fine art, right? Like, literally, we have this shit like down to the micros, right? Your man's not qualified. Grits, I love you. You fix cars. I know you love your husband. I respect the life out here. You're a great guy, dude. But you're just not like our IQ level. Sorry, in regards to like how this shit's going to be run. Like, dude, yeah, go and moderate your groups, dude. Go and take care of your little plebs. While the rest of us, the real thinkers, go out and solve problems. Bbandz, I'm only interested in being up there and solving problems, me. Like we need to get through this, but you can't solve them unless you talk about them. And who's willing to talk about them? Very few people these days, man. You need us cunts, man. You all know you need us.
Definitely. I mean, like, who's going to come in, like, go through the trash and make sure that nothing good was thrown out? You know what I mean?
Hey, what about Rarma? What about Rarma tonight coming on RAC FM? It's one of the first he's come on. I think he died. Did Rarma die tonight? No? Did he? Did he die tonight? Did he die? He fell asleep, right? Oh, my God. Where did we start with that one? The Trojan horse.
I can't believe he came in. Was that really Gaines' daughter that he told to shut up or be quiet, little girl? No one cares. You have to say or something. Was that his daughter? Did she hear him?
Is that recorded? Is that recorded as well?
I don't know. But he said that, and I was like, Robo.
Yeah.
I mean, Rarma. You apologize to that little girl. Maybe he was making a voice or something. Like doing a voiceover?
I think Rarma came in a bit like drunk, a bit sleep, because he did 16 hours of work yesterday, right? And then he was on calls when he finished. I probably think when Rarma came in at night, he was operating on about like 2.5. Sorry. Rarma, when he came in at night, sorry guys. Yeah, when Rarma came in at night,
was that great coming back up again?
Oh, this darling. Wow, that fucking from that KFC. Oh, it's a killer, isn't it? That mashed potato and gravy, it's a badass motherfucker. I tell you what, I love that shit. I've still got like a little, like a third of a pot and some Zab wings. Like when I finish talking to you, I'm gonna hit them Zab wings up, man. You know, Robo's on the spice before bed, man. I'm off work tomorrow. I'm off work most days. I don't give a fuck. Anyway, Rarma, your man there came in spicy, actually. And sometimes after a few beers or no sleep for like fucking 48 hours, he's a bit like that. And I do know that he did like a 16-hour shift yesterday. And then he got on calls with Jacob, with Jake Hartnell and a few others, right? And I knew he had a big day again today. So considering that Gaines has like been using voice machines for weeks to pretend to be Molly or Rackbuller or who's the other Rack News, right? Like, if Rarma was coming on and like not believing that people were who they were saying they were in his wrecked state, yeah, Bbandz. I mean, Bbandz, I know, and you know, because we knew straight away. We have to give your man a free pass, or do we not give Rarma a free pass?
Oh, no, he has a pass because he was giggling a lot when he said that.
Why?
Because he was giggling.
Why?
When you hear Rarma giggling, it's like, he usually puts himself on mute, and he was giggling. So
He pushed even you. I heard you, that you and Amanda, even the women were like, whoa, Rarma, whoa. And he was like, no.
I mean, he did a little, I mean, I was half joking, half serious. You know how you're kind of like trying to let somebody know, ha ha, he he, but you better probably say sorry. That's what we were trying to do.
I'll tell you what.
If he would address my child like that, I don't know. We would have had problems.
I know, Bbandz. I get you. I feel you, darling. I feel you. Wait, your man's kid, though. Oh, my God. What a little darling. Like literally, like, oh, Uncle Robo, smelly Rarma. Like, I was just fucking dying, darling. I mean, if you can't have, like, fun in the Borough market, right? Like, if you literally, guys, I don't know anyone listening here who's had a bad time or been hit through the bear market or COVID or whatever, right? Listen, if you are at the darkest depths of the Borough market, right? And it just looks so fucking bad, right? All around, right? But if you can come together, the group of friends, right? Take the piss out of each other and laugh. Like, I'm sure that, like, you're going to survive, like, quite happily until the next bull market comes along. And because once it does come along again, which it will, we're all going to get so fucking rich, man. It's going to be unbelievable how much money people like us are going to make in the next bear market. So, yeah, Bbandz, you know what I mean? Or like, you have to have that element, don't you? Yeah. I mean, you're at the bottom, Bbandz. We're at the bottom, right? What we're going to do? Are we going to cry? Are we going to try and make one another laugh? That's what I like.
Well, I like making people laugh, and I like to laugh. So, how about we do that?
Are you in agreement with me? Wait. Are you in agreement with me? Though, wait. Rarma's head's been getting bigger in the last few weeks. Gaines and I have been talking about this. We need to control
he keeps coming out and trying to get me to say his name.
Right. Oh, they sub-DAOs. You know the sub-DAOs? The sub-DAOs have gone to his head. We need to rein this in. Bbandz, we need a plan. Listen, darling. I'm going to end this space soon because I'm going to fucking bed. I'm wrecked, guys. I'm going to actually, when I finish with you lot, I'm going to let the dogs out in the street. I live in a cul-de-sac. So there's like me walking, I'm just going to let them go mad, right? And then I'm going to hit the fucking bed. Like, I want to say though, Bbandz, and to all the people listening, and Chris and everyone else, right? And 368, right? Is that like, it's times like these where the strong people are made. It's times like these on spaces and the confrontational aspect of like what we're prepared to do, right? Like, how do I say this nicely? Okay, right. I know there's women present, right? In 2025, you'll not be a pussy, will you? All right? You'll learn to sell.
You would be so lucky to be.
No, these fellas.
You would be so lucky. Okay.
These fellas don't. None of them will be a pussy. Guys. When the time is right, yeah, you'll sell your chips, yeah, you'll cash out, you'll be worth a fortune. It's just a matter of time. Like, we're in the fucking bottom of the borough. It's probably going to get worse. I don't care if Bitcoin goes to $6,000. Like, literally, right now at this stage, I've lost what I've lost. I can't lose anymore because I've only got RAC NFTs. Like, in crypto right now. Everything else is out of crypto, waiting to go back in. Like, who gives a fuck? The people that are having these conversations right now are the people that will be reaping the benefits in, like, if it's an extended bear, which I don't think it is still at this point. I still don't think it is.
Hey, Robo, I got to get out of here. Wife's calling me. I hope you guys have a good day. I'll catch you all later.
Take care, Chris. We're off soon anyway. Bbandz, shut me up. I'm going to bed anyway. That's Chris's sign to tell me to fuck off to bed.
Night, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
Yeah. We started, darling. We started at 8.
Amen, my friend.
5 hours. 5 hours, 15 minutes. Wait. After a long day as well. 5 hours, 15 minutes, man. This is the thing. It's like, put the spaces on. If you want to drop in, if you want to drop out, you've got shit to do. Still there when you want to come back. Nah. Anyway, darling, I'm going to go. We've been on a rampage today, me and Games, in one way or another. You're all miss for the culture. Ooh.
Night. Sleep tight.
You know what? Can I give you a Christmas carol? Can I give you a Christmas carol before bed now? Jingle bell.
Did you say dingle bells?
Jingle bells, Batman smell. Robin flew away. He lost his pants in the middle of France and he found them in Bombay. When I was a kid, I loved that one. My favourite Christmas carol of all time when I was a kid. Teach your kids that one, Bbandz. Record it. Get them to sing that one.
I'll get her to sing it. All right, guys.
Right.
I'm out.
Take care, darling. Take care, everyone. Take care.
Thanks for checking out another episode of The Ether. That was part 2 of the 2-part RAC FM Giga Rugged Space Rug. Recorded on Wednesday, December 7th, 2022. For TerraSpaces.org, I'm Finn. Thanks for listening. And if you want to keep listening, head on over to TerraSpaces.org/donate and show some support. Now with Spark IBC enabled. Reading in a book, yo, I learned something nifty. The CIA was feeding people acid in the 50s. Some people knew it, most of them didn't. It was like a little game they invented. Sandoz had the plug, it was all about the research. Gotta get turned on, hollering me first. Government reaction is always kinda knee-jerk. Not exactly what I like to see out of my leaders. Zen lunatics trying to see the other side. Everybody likes to hide and seek when the dose is high. Paranoid, like people are watching me. Well, that's because people are watching, see? If DMT is the Niagara of epiphanous beauty and psilocybin treats your mind like a movie, LSD wasn't the mind control they wanted, so they kept designing different drugs to haunt us.
You are an explorer, and you represent our species. And the greatest good you can do is to bring back a new idea, because our world is endangered by the absence of good ideas. Our world is in crisis because of the absence of consciousness.
Just another night in the cabin, camping. 3 drops hitting each tongue like, well, that happened. Feeling like a weird alien on this planet. I'm just passing through, staring at these inhabitants. They didn't know provocateurs infiltrating, lock your doors, trying to start a quiet riot so they could mop the floors. Used to slay the forage, waiting for the drum roll. And that's what happens when cutthroats get all the control. Acting all manic, the passion is frantic. The visuals are magic, so let your mind brandish this little weapon of mass dysfunction. Red Dawn down, now we're tripping with the Russians. Reading in a book, yo, I learned something nifty. The CIA was feeding people acid in the 50s. Some people knew it, most of them didn't, and you wonder why we harbor such resentment. Dicks.
My notion of what the psychedelic experience is for is that we each must become like fishermen and go out onto the dark ocean of mind and let your nets down into that sea. And what you're after is not some behemoth that will tear through your nets, foul them, and drag you and your little boat, into the abyss. Nor are what we're looking for a bunch of sardines that can slip through your net and disappear. Ideas like, have you ever noticed that your little finger exactly fits your nostril? And stuff like that.
spaces.